Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today, Jana and I are tackling a topic that honestly I think we all grapple with at some point: self discipline, or more accurately, the myth of just forcing yourself to be disciplined.
Absolutely, Zia. It's funny, isn't it? You search online and you might expect to find some magical, learn how to force yourself to be disciplined kind of book. But that's just not how it works. And thankfully, that's not what good books on the topic teach.
Right? I mean, if it were that easy, we'd all be waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym, writing our novels, eating perfectly other every single day. The reality is far more nuanced and much more forgiving once you understand it.
Exactly. The idea of forcing implies a constant internal battle where you're just white knuckling your way through tasks you don't want to do. And while there's a place for willpower, it's not the sustainable path to long term discipline.
So instead of a book titled Force Yourself, what we actually find are amazing resources that delve into the science and psychology behind discipline. Books like Martin Meadows' The Science of Self Discipline and James Clear's Atomic Habits immediately come to mind.
Those are fantastic starting points. Martin Meadows really grounds the concept in scientific principles, which I find incredibly helpful. It's not just do this because I said so, it's do this because your brain works this way.
Yeah, he talks a lot about how willpower isn't an endless resource. It's like a muscle that gets fatigued. If you spend all your willpower resisting that donut in the morning, you might not have enough left to tackle that big project later in the day.
Which makes total sense. I remember reading about the concept of ego depletion, where self control draws on a limited pool of mental resources. It's why making too many decisions early in the day can lead to decision fatigue later on.
And Meadows goes into how things like sleep, nutrition, and even mindfulness can significantly impact your willpower reserves. It's not just about gritting your teeth, it's about setting yourself up for success physically and mentally.
So it's less about the force and more about understanding the mechanics. If you know your willpower is finite, you start to strategize. How can I conserve it? How can I make tasks less reliant on pure willpower?
Exactly. And that leads us beautifully into Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is all about making those tasks less reliant on sheer force and more about building robust systems and habits.
Oh, Atomic Habits is a game changer. James Clear's approach is so practical and actionable. It really shifts the focus from I need to be more disciplined to I need to build better systems and environments.
His whole premise about tiny changes leading to remarkable results is so powerful. We often think we need to make these grand, sweeping changes to see progress, but he argues for the cumulative effect of small, consistent action.
The 1% improvement, right? If you get 1% better every day for a year, you end up 37 times better by the end. That's a huge shift from trying to be 100% perfect immediately.
Yeah, and his four laws of habit change, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. They're just brilliant. It's like a user manual for your own brain to adopt good habits and drop bad ones.
I've applied Make It Obvious so many times. If I want to read more, I put the book right on my pillow. If I want to take vitamins, they're next to my coffee maker. It sounds simple, but it dramatically increases the likelihood of actually doing it.
It's environment design at its best. You're essentially rigging the game in your favor rather than relying on a finite supply of willpower. You're not fighting against human nature, you're working with it.
And make it easy is crucial. Want to exercise? Don't start with an hour-long intense workout if you're out of shape. Start with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of movement. The goal is just to show up, to build the identity of someone who exercises.
That identity piece is probably one of the most profound takeaways from Atomic Habits. It's not about I want to run a marathon, it's about I am a runner. When you embody that identity, the actions become a natural extension of who you are.
Right, the behavior follows the identity. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you're more likely to act in ways that align with that self-perception. It's a complete flip from how most people approach discipline.
So, how do these two books, The Science of Self Discipline and Atomic Habits, complement each other? Because they tackle similar themes from slightly different angles.
I see them as incredibly synergistic. Meadows gives you the why, the scientific, biological, and psychological underpinnings of why discipline is hard and why willpower has limits. He helps you understand the playing field.
And Clear gives you the how, the practical, step by step framework for navigating that playing field and building consistent behaviors that don't rely on brute force willpower.
Exactly. If you understand, thanks to Meadows, that your willpower is depleted by stress or lack of sleep, then you can use Clear's methods to build habits that bypass the need for immense willpower in the first place, like creating a consistent bedtime routine.
It makes so much sense. You learn about your brain's limitations from Meadows, and then you learn how to design systems to overcome those limitations from Clear. It's not about fighting your nature, it's about understanding and optimizing it.
I think one of my biggest personal struggles with discipline used to be the all or nothing mentality. If I missed a day at the gym or ate something bad, I'd just give up for weeks because I'd ruined everything.
Oh, tell me about it. The perfection trap is real. It's like, if you can't do it perfectly, why do it at all? But that's where Clear's never miss twice rule is so liberating. One slip up doesn't erase all your progress.
Seriously, just acknowledging that you're going to have off days and that's okay is huge. The key is to get back on track as quickly as possible, not to beat yourself up and quit entirely.
And Meadows reinforces that from a scientific perspective too. The brain isn't designed for flawless execution 24/7. It needs breaks, it makes mistakes, it learns. Self compassion is actually a component of long term discipline, not an enemy of it.
It's a completely different paradigm than the old just work harder mentality. It's about working smarter, understanding yourself, and building structures that support your goals.
So, for anyone listening who feels like they're constantly fighting themselves or who feels guilty for not being disciplined enough, what would be your top takeaway, Jaina?
My biggest takeaway would be stop trying to force it. Start by observing your current habits without judgment. Then pick one tiny, almost ridiculously small habit you want to build or break and apply one of James Clear's laws. Make it so easy you can't say no.
I love that. And for me, it would be to pay attention to your energy levels. If you're constantly feeling drained, trying to push through with willpower alone is a losing battle. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and mental breaks because those are foundational to having the energy for discipline.
Excellent point, Zia. It's about a holistic approach, not just sheer brute force. Discipline isn't a personality trait you're born with, it's a skill, or rather, a collection of skills and systems that you can absolutely cultivate over time.
Exactly. It's not about becoming a robot, it's about becoming more aligned with your own goals and values in a way that feels natural and sustainable. So, if you're looking to cultivate more discipline in your life, I highly recommend checking out The Science of Self Discipline and Atomic Habits.
They're truly transformative. You don't need to force yourself, you just need to understand how you work and set up your environment for success. Thanks for joining us today, everyone, on this dive into real, sustainable discipline.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Keep those tiny habits rolling.